Okay, now the system's going to have three variables. So we've added this z to it, and because it has three variables, it also is going to have three equations. And because this middle equation has a variable with 1 or -1, I'm going to use that one. I'm going to call these equations 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to use equation 1 and 2 in order to eliminate a variable. And what I need to do is to be able to eliminate this y. So I'm going to multiply it by 2, and then that's going to be positive 2, negative 2 will cancel out. So I get these, and now I'm going to combine them to eliminate the y's, and I get negative 5x. This combines to be negative 6z is equal to negative, and that's going to be 37. I'm going to circle this one because I'm going to come back and use that one. So now I'm going to use equation 2 and equation 3 to eliminate the y. I have to eliminate the same variable because my goal here is I want two equations with two of the variables, and then it's going to be just like the Algebra 1 solving systems with two variables. So I'm going to need to multiply this equation by 3. And so I get these two equations, and my y's are going to cancel out. So that's going to leave me with negative 7x minus 12z is equal to, and this becomes 77, negative 77. And I'm going to circle this one. And so my goal is I want to be able to find at least one variable. If I can get one variable, I can work my way back to solve for the other variables. So now that I have these two equations, I can use those to solve like we did in the last set of notes, just with two variables. So I have, and what you see here is it's going to be difficult to get 5 and 7 to cancel out, but it's pretty easy to get the z's to cancel out. So I'm going to multiply the top one by 2, but not just 2, because if I multiply by 2, it's going to be negative 12z, and this is negative 12z, so I want to change the sign of it, which means I need to multiply by negative 2. So then that's going to become positive 10, and they all become positive. And now I can combine them. This becomes 3x. That cancels out. This becomes negative 3. And now I have one variable that I can solve, and x is equal to negative 1. Okay, and this is what I mean by I'm working my way down. I find one variable. Now I'm going to work my way back up and use the equations that I've gotten in order to finish it. So I'm going to take this one and plug it back into one of these with only two variables, because I know x now, and if I plug it in, then that equation is only going to have one variable left, and I can solve for that one. So negative 7 times negative 1 minus 12z is equal to negative 77. So this becomes positive 7 minus 12z is equal to negative 77, and solve it. Now I only have one variable, so I can solve for that variable. This becomes negative 84 and divide by negative 12. And z is equal to positive 7. And so now that I have two variables, I know x and z, now I'm going to work my way back to one of the original equations and solve for y. I can plug both x and z in. I'll use the top equation, and I can plug in x, negative 1. I don't know the y. I can plug in 7 for z, and now I can solve for my only variable that's left, negative 3 minus 2y plus 28 is equal to 35. Negative 2y plus 25 is equal to 35. Subtract 25. Negative 2y is equal to positive 10, and divide by negative 2, and y is equal to negative 5. So now I have my three variables. X is equal to negative 1, y is equal to negative 5, and z is equal to 7. I know mine got a little messy and not organized. If you want to go back and write steps to them, this was step 1. What we did here to cancel out the y's. This was step 2 to cancel out the y's. Then we went here and used both of those equations for step 3. We used this negative 1 to find z in step 4. And then we went this way, and this was step 5 to find y. Okay, here's one you try. Go ahead and try to figure this one out. Remember, follow steps. Since this is the one variable that has a 1, it's probably going to be easier to cancel out the y's first. So I got a joke for you. What's an owl's favorite subject? Algebra 2. Yeah.